Good morning and welcome. You are watching live and breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. We begin with news that's just coming in. Maharashtra's Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari has asked the State Chief Secretary to provide complete information of all government resolutions and circulars that have been issued by the state government from the 22nd to the 24th of June. Now, according to a letter by his Principal Secretary Santosh Kumar, a directive that comes in the middle of the political crisis triggered by the revolt in the Shiv Sena. Now, according to the letter that has been given by the governor to the state secretariat, it seems to mention the fact that the LOP had approached the governor over several decisions that have been made by the MVA government, and thereafter, of course, the governor issuing that letter asking for all those files to be sent to him for a review. Now, even as all of this happens, of course, what we are given to understand is that perhaps there could be forward movement as far as this is concerned. We are now learning that about 160 of these orders are under scrutiny, and we are also perhaps getting now the first Shiv Sena reaction on the crisis orders that have been issued. So the first reaction coming out from the Shiv Sena on this. And I think what he said is, Ajay Chowdary of the Shiv Sena has said that the court is capable of taking a decision and the Supreme Court will take this decision. Let's listen in.
निर्णय आहे आणि कोर्टाने दिलेल्या निर्णयावरती प्रतिक्रिया देण्याची मला वाटते मला गरज नाही, कारण कोर्ट अतिशय सक्षम आहे. या देशातलं सुप्रीम कोर्ट अतिशय सक्षमपणे निर्णय घेते आणि कोर्टामध्ये जो काही निर्णय होईल तो 12 तारखेपर्यंत थांबायला सांगितले. तोपर्यंत मला वाटते आपण सारे जण निर्णय आहे आणि कोर्टाने दिलेल्या निर्णयावरती प्रतिक्रिया देण्याची मला वाटते मला गरज नाही, कारण
and give a decision over the. I don't want to comment on what the Supreme Court has given its order. We know that Supreme Court is very much capable enough to see the situation and give order accordingly. We will respect whatever the order, the decision that will come in from the court.
All right, so that, of course, is a first reaction that we are getting right now from the MVA government. Let's go across to our reporters who are bringing us the latest on this. Alicia joins us from outside Devendra Fadnavis's residence. Shivangi is at Matoshri. Priyanka is reporting from Sharad Pawar's residence. We've also got Anirudh live from Guwahati. First, to you, Alicia. We were hearing, of course, that reaction that we got from Ajay Chowdary, where he says that, you know, we are waiting for the court's decision and we will abide by it. But in the backdrop of the order that's come in from the governor, how do you see this now going forward?
Well, yes, that was Ajay Chowdary, who is the leader of the Shiv Sena Legislative Assembly, who clearly said that we will respect the decision of the Supreme Court, as the court is very much capable enough to understand and to decide what is happening in the state of Maharashtra. So he don't want to comment on the decision that has been given by the Supreme Court. But yes, while talking about the letter, the notice that has been issued by the governor of Maharashtra, Bhagat Singh Koshyari, and the letter has been issued from the Principal Secretary of a governor, where it has clearly asked the state government to give a reply on the government resolutions and the circular that was issued by state government at this amid the Maharashtra political crisis. And that is the reason they have asked for an explanation, to give a detailed explanation over the government resolution and circular that has been passed on June 22, 23rd and 24th. So the 3 days of a government resolution that has been passed by the Maharashtra government has been asked by the governor, and of course now the state government has to answer, because we know there are still the minister. There are 9 ministers who are with Eknath Shinde, including Eknath Shinde, who is a urban development minister, and there are 5 cabinet ministers and 4 ministers of state who are present in Guwahati. But rather the situation in the Maharashtra is something like under the question. But even after that, we see that Maharashtra government is been taking a decision decision. They have been issuing the government resolution, and that is now under the scrutiny, where the governor has intervened and asked the Maharashtra government to give an answer over the government resolution and the circular that has been issued on 22nd, 23rd and 24th.
All right, stay with us. Priyanka, we are also now learning that there is an indication perhaps that the independent candidates, MLAs rather, could now approach the governor. Now, does this, all of what's happening, essentially pave the way perhaps for a floor test?
And that's exactly what it is, Nupur, because it all boils down to the floor test now, because we are at that point where the legal battle has moved towards the Supreme Court as well. And the next hearing is on the 11th of July, and we are seeing how time and time again, the Eknath Shinde camp had been claiming that they have the numbers, and Uddhav Thackeray clan, in fact, had been power posturing and stating that there are more MLAs in the Eknath Shinde camp that are in touch with the Uddhav Thackeray loyalists as well, along with Sanjay Raut as well. So now that being said, there was in fact several statements that were made by the senior leadership of the Shiv Sena that they have the numbers. However, this is going to be the litmus test of whether or not who in fact really has the numbers, because the floor test is going to decide just that. And we have seen even Uddhav Thackeray just 24 hours back as well, along with Sanjay Raut, had come out and said that Uddhav Thackeray in fact is going to remain the chief minister, that they have the numbers. Of course, we will have to see how they will be able to prove that on the floor of the Legislative Assembly as well. And now that the things in fact are also snowballing with respect to this letter that has come to light over the GRs and several decisions that had been taken by the government, and of course the entire details of which will have to be provided to the governor under the Article 167 of the Indian Constitution as well. Now, that being said, we will have to wait and watch as to how the floor test really pans out, but that will be depending on also the kind of legal battle that is going on in the apex court, where the Shiv Sena, the Eknath Shinde camp in fact, has stated that the entire decision of the Deputy Speaker for disqualification of the MLAs is illegal. Now, those are the words that were being used by the Eknath Shinde camp, and where they had in fact stated that more and more MLAs are going towards Guwahati, and that they have the numbers. These were the statements that were being made. In fact, there's a movement. Let's pan our cameras. If I could ask Vijay Mayur to keep panning our cameras as we speak about the political developments, because I believe Sharad Pawar might be leaving from his residence. Let's pan our cameras. Vijay Mayur is showing you the visuals because we are seeing several movement. Police officials in activity here, and we had been learning about the meetings that will take place. There you have it. Sharad Pawar leaving from his residence. We are being told that several meetings will also take place as far as the NCP is concerned, because remember, Nupur, let's keep panning our cameras. As we were talking about it, how there are several meetings that are going on with the MVA. Inside of the MVA, the alliance partner, let's put this into perspective for our viewers, because earlier, the Uddhav Thackeray clan, including Sanjay Raut, had stated that they have the numbers. But we had seen statements from Sanjay Raut also come to light, where he had said, what's the worst that's going to happen? That we are going to lose our government, isn't that it? And that had really not gone down well with the NCP and the Congress. And we had seen several statements from the NCP leadership also coming out, confessing of an anxiety when it comes to the Uddhav Thackeray leadership, Uddhav Thackeray government, and also Sanjay Raut's statements. And that is why we had seen multiple meetings that had taken place at YB Chavan, where Sharad Pawar, Praful Patel, all of the NCP leadership had been present. And we had also seen, interestingly, that Kamal Nath had also gone to meet with Sharad Pawar, post which we had seen Sharad Pawar also going to meet Uddhav Thackeray. Yes. So hectic parleys that were going on, and of course from that meetings we had learned source-based information about Sharad Pawar's advice to Uddhav Thackeray on whether he should be resigning or not from his position. And since then we have seen multiple developments on the front of the alliance partnerships as well, with respect to the NCP and the Congress, and the Eknath Shinde clan in fact stating that the NCP ministers had been making, NCP leaders had been making life difficult for their MLAs on the ground, and that is why they do not want to consider allying with the NCP, calling it the entire MVA alliance an unholy one. Yeah.
Absolutely. As you are pointing out, of course, there is a lot that's happening as far as the allies are concerned also. But let me go across to Shivangi now. Shivangi, we've not really heard from Uddhav Thackeray yet on what the governor has said and the orders that have been issued by the governor. Any reactions coming in? Well,
not so far yet. Now,
Nupur, what is very important to note is that Uddhav Thackeray has COVID. So he has kind of been taking a back seat when it comes to the political crisis. His son, Aditya Thackeray, has been taking more of a lead. Before I go ahead and talk about what's happening here at Matoshri, Sanjay Raut will be skipping the ED summons. Skipping the ED summons. He had in fact dared that you can arrest me if you want, you can take me if you want. But he has also said that I will not be able to make it because of a rally that he will be addressing today. So right now that's the big news coming in. Sanjay Raut there not going to go for the ED summons. He's going to skip it from his end.
Okay.
But for what's happening right now in Matoshri, we are waiting for more meetings to take place. Yesterday we saw some hectic meetings from the MVA allies, NCP, Congress, Nana Patole, Dilip Patel, Home Minister of Maharashtra had come in, and there were some meetings which are taking place. The allies standing behind Uddhav Thackeray so far, even though numbers keep dwindling for Uddhav Thackeray, allies standing behind Uddhav Thackeray. Shinde camp tearing into Sanjay Raut. Sanjay Raut accusing BJP of what's happening in Guwahati and what's happening in the rebel camp.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Nupur.
Absolutely. Stay with us. Anirudh, reporting from Guwahati. Anirudh, we were expecting to see perhaps Eknath Shinde leave for Mumbai soon. Now, he has been in talks and we are slowly seeing how the BJP is also swinging into action.
Yes, Nupur. In fact, all eyes are now fixed in Guwahati as back-to-back developments have been taking place. The Eknath Shinde camp in Guwahati have been meeting back-to-back. Today also they are likely to meet, but as of now we are not getting the timings of the meeting when they are scheduled to meet today. But yes, sources have been telling us that Eknath Shinde might leave for Mumbai anytime in order to engage in further talks there, as he has already got time till July 11, and he need to in order to reply to the disqualification notices served by the Deputy Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly. However, with the crisis, as the crisis in Maharashtra deepens further, it is being expected that Eknath Shinde might leave for Mumbai anytime. And yes, but as far as his MLAs are concerned, all the MLAs who are camping here along with Eknath Shinde, they are not expected to leave. And as we have been reporting since yesterday that the bookings of the hotel in Guwahati have been extended till July 5th, and we are also getting to know that it might be extended further if required. So yes, with all these developments taking place, the focus have been completely shifted to Guwahati. And yesterday we also witnessed how posters have come up in Guwahati in support of Eknath Shinde, and in that posters we have seen that the photographs of Eknath Shinde have been used along with that of Balasaheb Thackeray and Anand Dige, who happens to be the mentor of Eknath Shinde.
All right. All right. So, of course, as you're pointing out, we are expecting perhaps Eknath Shinde to leave for Mumbai sometime. Alisha, back to you now. Alisha, what we've been seeing, of course, is moves that seem to suggest that the BJP is also now getting actively involved. You know, so far it was that we are going to stay away from it. Let's see how this pans out. Let the Shiv Sena fight its internal battles. But now slowly we are seeing moves from the BJP. We saw Devendra Fadnavis met a lot of MLAs yesterday. So what are we expecting in terms of that today?
Well, yes, Nupur, we know that there was continuously a series of meetings that was ongoing at Devendra Fadnavis bungalow in Malabar Hill. So, yesterday there was a core committee meeting. Whether the fact we know that the statement that has been issued by Bharatiya Janata Party is saying that they have nothing to do what is happening in the Shiv Sena, and they have no hands in the differences that has been ongoing in Shiv Sena. But yes, we know that yesterday with us top sources was already informed us that if it comes to the floor test, BJP is ready and they have a support of 170 number. They claim that they have a support of 170 number. So this is something like Bharatiya Janata Party has been very confident enough and now claiming, and that is the reason where we see the series of meetings that has been ongoing. There are senior leaders who were coming to this very location. It's a Devendra Fadnavis bungalow in Malabar Hill, Sagar bungalow, where all the BJP leaders, and yesterday there was a core committee meeting which lasted for almost 2 hours. So we even saw that Sudhir Mungitwar, while coming out, he was clearly stating that they have nothing to do. But if we remember the statement that came in from Rao Danve, who is a union minister, and he had made a claim that we will be in Maharashtra in the opposition for the next only for 2 to 3 days. So this is something like statement needs to be taken into consideration, and there is something, the strategy that has been ongoing for the further course of action in the BJP, because there is continuous series of meeting, and even today we have been told there are senior BJP leaders who is going to come to meet Devendra Fadnavis for a meeting.